Hello, crew. It is Monday, the 20th of January, Martin Luther King Day, for another 26 minutes here at Pacific Standard Time. I should be in bed, but I'm not. I'm exhausted. I'm emotionally drained. I just started to make a video for you, and I ended up talking for like 19 minutes and just decided it was ridiculous. So I'm going to try to summarize that in a much shorter format. So this last week has been crazy, as you might imagine. I actually spent a lot of time with Kimbra, with Scott O'Daniel, and with Eric Quimps, as well as with a number of other friends of Scott's from high school. We Eric asked me to go with him to talk with Kimbra and to talk with Carolyn, who was Scott's mother, and about what they wanted in the memorial service. So Eric officiated the memorial service, and he did a great job of really talking to everybody else and finding out what they were going to say, and then putting together just a few remarks to fill the gaps. So the service ended up with Eric making some a welcoming statement, Carolyn, Scott's mother, talking, then Eric giving some filling details, then Scott's good friend Patrick Temple giving kind of a longer discussion of Scott and his relationship with Scott in high school and college, and then also running a tour business with Scott after college. Then the mayor talked very briefly and gave some sort of cursory remarks about Scott's service on the city council. I sang the song December in Pendleton. Then Scott's niece, Addie, actually talked, which was really nice, and she gave a really heartfelt and very emotional account, and I felt like that was sort of the heart of the whole ceremony, because she broke down a little bit, and the rest of us were all kind of very contained. And then followed by Eric made a couple of closing remarks, and a young man, neighbor of Scott's and Kimbra's, read a poem. So it was a nice ceremony. After that, there was a slideshow with music, and then more pictures of Scott with the reception. The program, they used this picture that I took of Scott wearing my down jacket after he'd soaked himself to the bone, wearing a ripped up raincoat that he'd fixed with duct tape when we got caught out in a rainstorm. And then this is the picture on the back, another picture that I took of Scott looking up the Snake River towards the Imnaha Fork. So it was nice. I felt like I was able to play a role there. In addition, I think I mentioned that the governor was intended to come. There were over 600 people there, but the governor in the end wasn't able to make it because they canceled all the flights to Pendleton from Portland on both Saturday and Sunday. I don't know why. The weather was great. Apparently it was administrative issues. Maybe they couldn't get a pilot or something, but I think it was sort of the best of all possible outcomes, because the governor clearly tried to come, so the gesture of her appearance was felt, but then she didn't actually make it, so we didn't have the extra show that would have entailed the presence of the governor at the memorial service. So it really kept the focus on Scott and his life, and Kimbra and Leiden, and the grief of the people who were missing him. Both on Saturday evening and on Sunday evening after the service, I got to hang out with a bunch of Scott's friends, which was really nice, and they told all kinds of stories. And this is where I kind of went off the rails in my previous video, because there's so many good stories, and I'll tell them to you at some point, maybe in person, but I won't record them here. Um, but it's amazing. He just lived an amazing life. I mean, stuff that I didn't know. He told me, actually, probably 70 to 80% of the stories I heard. But yeah, just crazy. So, just exhausted yesterday, and I'm exhausted today. But now I got a second wind because we had the Martin Luther King Day celebration that the Baha'i community here has put on for a long time, and we've been trying to bring in other members of the community, so we have a larger group now. So the Baha'is are still heavily involved, but we're only about half of the committee. And so we were originally going to practice on Sunday music. And what we do is we go down to GP and sing a bunch of songs and have some readings. And it was a really good program. We got some kids from the middle school to come read quotes from Martin Luther King. And we had Marcus Luke, who's a tribal member, give an invocation. We had Mark Mullins, who's the professor, or the pastor. I don't know. He's the head of the church that Melissa attended, and he did her funeral. And he was the MC. He did a great job. And Margaret played music, and Gina, who is a friend of ours who used to live in Pendleton, now lives in the Tri-Cities, came down and sang, and she's got this great, beautiful gospel voice. And so I sang Redemption Song as well, and sang backup for Gina. A bunch of other people sang backup for Gina. Margaret sang a couple songs as well with us singing backup. And it was packed. GP was packed. There were actually probably, I don't know, close to 10 African American black people. One guy's from Africa. He works at the Ag Research Station, I think. But who were there, which is usual for Pendleton to have that many. And in the past, Gina's often brought family. So, we would have a few token African Americans, but in this case, these other folks, weren't associated with Gina. And so it was really cool that people were there. I don't know who they are. I didn't really get much of a chance to talk to them. But it was good, and I felt like it was a worthwhile endeavor to put this on. I'm totally just emotionally exhausted. I've been on the verge of tears on and off all day. I don't know. Just is what it is. But I guess we're leaving on Friday to go to Seattle for a trip to France. If I don't get a chance to make another video, I'm going to try to make short, probably not well edited videos, probably just quick things to upload for you while we're in France, because I don't think I'm going to have time to cut together videos. I have to make a video for Sarah and her channel a couple times while we're there, maybe 2 or 3 videos actually. So we'll see what I'm able to do, but I may not be as prolific as you have been. I really appreciate your videos. I love the museums. I love the swimming. I loved actually the city wall with the wooden walk was really cool. I need to show that to Sarah. I'd intended to, but it's just been crazy. But we have never actually been to a place that had that still on a city wall. All of the city walls that we've gone to have been kind of destroyed, and they've actually put the walkway on top of it, even though that covered walkway on the inside was the more standard way. Anyway, I'm going to cut this off. I'm already at 10 minutes almost, so that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Thanks so much for your videos. Give my love to your entire family, Duncan, Clelia, and your darling granddaughter, who tell her Dan says hi. Hi, Layla. Hi. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.